Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shifting Tones, the podcast with nerdy tones and shifting formats. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for coming back each week and listening to what we have to say. Today, I'm your host, Sam, and I am joined by my lovely co-hosts, Larissa.
Hello.
And Steph.
Ooh, hi.
Or should I say spooky Spiffy?
Ooh. Gotta get the mood in there.
Absolutely. It
wow,
is late
Jinx.
October. Whoa.
I know.
You owe me a soda.
Oh,
It is late October. This episode is coming out October 26th. So it is right around the Halloween season, and I am loving it. I am living for it. I am in the mood right now. This past weekend, I spent an entire day just watching horror movies and Halloween-themed YouTube and TV shows, and binged down, had some snacks and some drinks, and just was like, just immersing, being what's the word?
Immersed.
Immersed
There you go.
in the fall spirit, and just absorbing all of it. I was having a blast. It was such a nice weekend. So yeah, it's just getting me in the mood. Are you guys in the mood? Are you guys feeling the fall vibes? Like, what's the deal? How you guys doing?
Well, before Steph says anything, I have to speak. A little birdie told me something interesting about your movie experience this Saturday.
Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, so you remember, this is a throwback to our very first episode where Sam said he hated when any of his friends read out trivia during a movie. You remember that, guys?
I do.
I don't remember. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah.
No, I remember.
So when I came back from an event that I went to, I heard that he enjoyed receiving some trivia during his little
Whoa.
Okay.
So,
Hold on.
Spill that tea, sis.
Hold on. Let me slurp up the tea real quick.
Okay.
If that's the turn of phrase. So the reason I don't like when we're watching a movie to have trivia is if it's a movie I've never seen before, and the trivia can most of the time spoil the movie, or kind of just you read ahead and you accidentally see a spoiler. That's why I don't like it, because I don't want to ruin anything for me. The movies in question were the 3 Insidious movies, the first 3, which I've seen before. So while we're watching it for the second or third time, how many times we've seen it, we're getting little trivia. That's fine. If it's a movie I've never seen before, I don't want to know anything about it. So that's my defense. I don't know. What does the judge say?
I say you didn't make clarification in that first episode, so you have to apologize to our friends on the air.
I would like to apologize for you guys misunderstanding what I said. I was obviously right all along, but I understand if you just don't know what I'm saying sometimes because of how awesome I am. But other than that,
that's funny. Oh,
Pico
that's
seems
good.
to be upset with me, but that's okay.
That's a classic Sam moment right there.
Hey, look, like I said, I don't like it for a brand new movie, but I guess if I've seen a movie a couple times and there's like little, fun facts or something, that's fine. I guess I should have been more clear. I'm sorry. So it's good for some things sometimes.
So there's always an exception to the rule.
Always an exception to the rule.
Well, for me, I had recently, as many of you have heard and have been tuning along, I am getting married soon. I just had a bridal shower recently.
Ooh.
So it was really fun. Miss Little Larissa came and actually helped out a lot and made me feel a lot less nervous. But honestly, Larissa, I had nothing but compliments coming in for you and our other friend who was helping out, our other bridesmaid, because they were like, yeah, you guys were on top of things. They were so sweet, is all they were saying. So you got lots of high compliments, but it was really fun. It was really nice. And just, it was a really nice time, and the weather was like perfect. Same thing with the fall weather. So I'm like, oh, this is such a great time to be like getting married, because the vibes are just there for everything. So it's really nice. But I do want to say a little short story. When we were driving home from said bridal shower, we pulled in, we dropped off my mom at her house, and then we were on our way back to our house, and my fiance pulled in and my heart dropped. And mind you, it is 11 p.m. So it's the middle of the night. It's dark, right? So kind of getting into the mood. This is a little spooky. So
I'm ready.
Our headlights flash onto something and I see it and my heart drops.
Oh no.
And I instantly say out loud, I said, that was not here before. It was a broken bike.
That's weird.
It was dismantled. And it was leaning up against our garage door.
That's strange.
Instantly I said, that wasn't here when we left. Literally, we left the night before. So I was like, within 24 hours, we did not leave that there. So 3 things are flashing through my head. Either someone dropped off their junk and just left it at our house. I don't know why, but maybe it's a possibility.
It's a local junkyard, you know?
Right. B, somebody, well, maybe my stepdad who stayed home from the bridal shower came over and just like was thinking like, hey, here's a free bike. Maybe you guys can put it together. I was like hoping it was that option, right? And like, no, someone I know put this there. Or B, somebody's actively in our house right now.
Right. That's horrifying. Oh,
that's really freaky.
So none of my family was answering their phone. Granted, it was 11 o'clock. So I couldn't call my stepdad because he was asleep. I just dropped off my mom, and for whatever reason, she was not answering her phone. And my hands are shaking. And so I said to my fiance, we have to go inside. We have to go into our house. I have nothing on me. I have my water bottle in my purse. And I'm like, well, if I need to beat somebody with a water bottle, I guess that's how I'm doing it.
Right.
So we, slowly open the door. And I'm we're quiet and we're looking around. I start turning on lights, listening. And as soon as I walk in past the hallway and look into the living room, I see a different piece of furniture that I didn't recognize there in the house. And then I looked up the stairs, and turns out my little sister, had dropped off items. She had just come back from Wyoming.
Oh,
But here's the thing. I knew that she was on her way driving back across, the country.
Right.
But it was assumed that it was going to be like, 2 or 3 days from now. Not that night. So I had a heart attack for no reason.
Wow.
So that kind of fits our mood. A little bit of a spooky story. Nothing like home invasion to
oh no.
Potential home invasion. It was so scary. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to fight someone. Like my fiance is like, do I need to call the police right now? It was crazy. So
oh, well, I'm glad no one got harmed, because I'm assuming you didn't then attack your sister when you saw her.
Oh, no, but that's the thing. She wasn't even home.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, no.
She literally dropped off her stuff, and it turns out she went and hung out with friends. But
oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, the house was empty. It was just filled with extra stuff.
So it was the opposite of a home invasion or like a robbery. It was somebody leaving stuff in your home.
Pretty much.
That'd be scary regardless, yeah.
Yeah, so not only was that a recent event to happen, that is a very good segue to today's episode.
Absolutely.
I don't know, Sam, is it, Mr. Host?
I guess, yeah, it is. Yeah, but Larissa, do you have any other small talk besides accusatory, actions by you?
I just wanted to make sure that the air was clear and that our listeners know that you do indeed enjoy trivia while you watch a movie. Maybe not all the time.
If I've seen it before, yes.
Right. Anyway.
What about anything else? Yeah, what's going on? Are you enjoying the fall weather? Have you done anything fall vibe yet?
Actually, other than how I discussed we set up the Halloween decorations, I don't think we've done too much in terms of like normal, typical fall activities. But I did want to say, in addition to Steph's bridal shower talk, that the location that her shower was in, yes, it's an old historic place, and the vibes it was given off peak fall, and I felt like if you stayed there overnight that you might be able to get some good like EVP recordings or good ghost sightings or anything like that. It just had that nice like old Victorian sort of vibe where like if you looked around the corner, you're like, oh man, did I hear something? And then you see like a white ghost child standing at the end.
Oh,
so that was fun. Mm-hmm.
It definitely was a very old, like I think it was like 1800 style home.
Yes.
It was old.
It was gorgeous too, but it's a little bit different when you're there during the day versus what I could imagine it would feel like if you were there at night. So that was pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
That is, both of those stories are good segues into today's episode, and a lot of people probably already know what this episode is. It seems like it, just based on the feedback that we've gotten. But today's episode is our very first, and maybe only, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. We'll figure out what the vibe is. But today's our very first listener episode, episode 10. And we had people write in for the Halloween season and send in your own very own personal paranormal stories. So I think it's really cool. I think we got some good ones. We're not going to be able to read everyone's, of course, just because of time constraints, but we will read the ones that we've selected. So if yours didn't get read today, it's okay. We will try to read it in the future potentially, or maybe do a bonus episode or something. We'll figure it out. How's that sound, guys?
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so without further ado, let us get in to the spooky stories.
Spooky.
Okay, so story number 1 comes from a listener by the name of Tom. Tom's story is titled Baby Whispers from Beyond.
What?
Spooky.
Huh?
Exactly. All right. Tom says, longtime listener, big time fan of the show. So thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to write in. I really appreciate it. So here's the story. It was a nice spring day. My grandmother and mother were working in the front garden of my childhood home. I, at this point, maybe a couple months old, was sleeping in my crib soundly, taking a nap. My mother had the great idea to take the baby monitor out to the front with her so that her and my grandmother could enjoy the outdoors.
Okay.
My father was at work and my grandfather was at the back of the house. So it would have been only me, my mother, and my grandmother in the house at this time. My mother hears me cooing and giggling in the monitor, indicating that I was having been woken up. After hearing my baby voice on the monitor, my mother hears an additional voice, an adult voice shushing me.
Ugh.
Panic set in right away and completely freaked her out. She rushed into the baby room to find no one in there and me having fallen back to sleep.
Spooky.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so the baby did wake up.
Yeah, so what I'm getting so far, the vibe is that he was asleep in his crib, and all of a sudden woke up and he started giggling, and you're like, oh, that's normal for a baby to just wake up and just be silly. Maybe he had one of those hanging things above the crib. I don't know what they're called, like
a mobile or
mobile, yeah, mobile home above the crib, and starts giggling, and then hears an additional voice, an adult voice on it, saying "shh," like to stop him from crying. Yeah, very creepy.
If I was a parent, that would freak me the hell. I wouldn't blame this mother. I'd be in there running. I'd run. I'd be sprinting to get to my child.
I guess I would assume that it was, if the grandfather was home too in the backyard, maybe. But if you got in there like in under a minute and nobody was there and he was still outside, like it would definitely freak me out.
Right, for sure. It reminds me of talking about Insidious this week, and it reminds me of that very much so.
Oh, absolutely. That's like almost like a thing from the movie itself. Yeah, there's a baby in the crib and they got the monitor playing, the lady's playing piano, and you can hear like somebody else like talking through it though. It's not just it's somebody like physically talking, which is terrifying. But no, this is creepy. This kind of gave me a little bit of goosebumps.
Well, I don't like how that is realistic, it's not like some thing, but it's like just imagining that like it's not a family member is kind of just freaky because that's kind of, it could be real.
The only thing I could try to debunk this would be if a baby monitor's picking up like other radio frequencies,
right?
But that's all I could think. But why would somebody say shh over the radio?
Right?
Doesn't really make any sense.
Creepy.
So definitely creepy and paranormal. So it was a short but sweet first story. I think gets everybody in the mood, gets everybody the hair standing up on the back of their neck, little chills.
Are we gonna rate these stories?
Oh, we can rate them on a what's the meter stuff? Do you have anything in mind?
Ooh, so it is the Halloween episode. Do we want to do little ghosties or like little pumpkins or
Perhaps
jack-o'-lanterns?
Victorian child.
Oh, okay, we could do.
How many unsettling Victorian children out of 10 are we giving it?
Oh, I would like to give it 6 unsettling Victorian aged children out of 10.
I would agree.
6.5. Yeah, exactly.
How do you do half a child? Just this
6
leg
and a half
showing.
children.
Just as a little.
Yeah, because it's creepy, but it's not like there's nothing malicious with it. It doesn't sound like no. So thank you, Tom. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Tom, very much for writing in. Thank you for listening to Shifting Tones. We hope you continue to listen. And if you have any other good stories like that in the future, please send them our way. Why don't I shift the tone over to Larissa to read story number 2?
Yes, absolutely. Let me pull this good story up. So, story number 2 is titled My Grandma Taught Me How to Exorcise Ghosts.
Ooh.
What?
Right? I know. It's pretty wild.
Like dumbbells and
yes. I think that's what exactly she means. She taught all of her ghosty friends how to go to the gym and sign up for a membership so that she could eventually scam them out of their ghost money.
Oh, that would
my goodness.
Absolutely.
Who is this by?
This is by Spiritually Spooky Anon.
Oh,
wow. An anonymous listener. You know who you are.
We don't, but you do.
Right. Exactly. All right. Are we ready for the story?
Yeah, I'm interested with a title like that.
Me too. So here we go. Halo, my grandma and grandpa lived in a haunted apartment when they first got together. What?
First sentence. Excuse me?
Right, exactly. Just right out of the gate. It's haunted.
Okay.
All right. I will continue now. I just wanted to take a moment to let that sink in.
Yeah.
All right. My grandma said that things would go missing and she'd find them in random spots, that she could hear footsteps walking up and down the hallway upstairs while both her and my grandpa were downstairs. Wow.
Yikes.
Ooh. Yeah, that's very active ghost there.
Yeah,
that's creepy. So it continues. She said this spirit was fine at first, but seemed to dislike my grandpa after a while.
Oh.
Interesting. He felt like someone would touch his shoulder at random times, and his keys would always be in a different spot than what he remembered. Well, one day, my grandpa was at the top of the stairs, and he felt like he was pushed down. What the heck? Sorry. Wow. All right. So he felt like he was pushed toward the bottom of the stairs out of nowhere. He caught himself from falling all the way down, but was pretty freaked out. Yeah, I agree with you, Grandpa.
I'd be terrified.
I know. Yeah. Oh,
I think it depends too if you weren't feeling well, maybe like something caused you to feel uneasy and you might have just slipped. But if you actually felt something push you,
right, that's crazy.
Would be horrifying. That is very malicious.
Right. Mm-hmm. I know you play Phasmophobia, and I always joke with Sam when we watch these ghost shows. I'm like, oh, what type of ghost does this sound like according to your Phasmophobia game?
Yeah, we were watching Ghost Adventures this past weekend, and they were like, just now we saw a spirit orb fly out of Johnny's back and into the wall. What could this be? And then it was kind of foggy, and Larissa's like, okay, we got freezing temps and we got ghost orbs. What's the ghost, Sam? I'm I need one more piece of evidence.
Yep. And so there's go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna. I'm enthralled by the story. I want to know how it ends. Did he get pushed? No, he caught himself. Right.
He did catch himself, which is great and fantastic. No hospitals were required in this instance, but yes, the story does continue. But I just wanted to know if Sam had a guess of what type of ghost this was before I.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with this is probably a yokai.
Oh.
It could be a hantu, depending on the frequencies and temperature. It's up in the air. It could be anything.
Sure. We always need that one more piece of evidence that they never seem to give us. So
that's right.
All right. So we will continue. The story goes, my grandma took a white tea light removed it from its metal casing, and sprinkled salt in it. Very smart, Grandma. And put the tea light back in. She lit the candle and repeated, God lets in the light and banishes the dark, over and over. That's a pretty good mantra. Yeah, absolutely. I guess the candle flickers a lot if the spirit doesn't want to leave. She said this candle flickered so hard it almost put itself out, and she yelled, Don't you dare put out my candle. Wow. Strong words, Grandma.
Ooh, spooky.
Right.
Grandma doesn't have any fear, though, it sounds like.
No. She's not messing around. She's like, you hurt my husband, you're going down.
Dang.
Right. And so it continues. After the flame calms down, you have to let the candle burn down and out. And then the ghost is gone and can't come back. Oh.
Interesting.
That's a good trick. I didn't know if I knew that. Thank you, Grandma. I've also learned. She says she didn't like having to banish that spirit, but didn't want to chance my grandpa getting pushed down a flight of stairs. Very fair. She also swears the house I lived in during high school was haunted, but that's a whole other story. LOL. P.S. Hope the story was spooky enough for you guys. Well, yes. Spiritually.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, very
Thank
spooky.
I like that Grandma was kind of like a badass. Yeah,
Right,
exactly. Like, you're not touching my husband.
Right. That's great. Oh my goodness.
Let me just, do an exorcism real quick.
Right. Real quick.
I wonder if they ever experience anything else in the future, like regardless if like she said it can't come back and stuff. So like, having being pushed, being physical, something physical happen is very scary. Like if you just hear somebody or maybe you saw someone on the corner of your eye, you're like, okay, as long as it's not bothering me or touching me, it's not a big deal. But the moment it gets involved like that, that's horrifying. Yeah, you got to do something to banish it.
Right, yeah, call the priest, even if you're not religious, Bring out the holy water.
Get the sage. Sage.
That too.
Oh, yeah, that was... Ooh, I don't know. That's kind of it's kind of odd to be like at the top of the stairs and feel like you're getting pushed. That would have had to been like your back, like
right,
or something like that. And then in the story they said that the grandpa like caught himself.
Right. Yeah.
So like he was kind of falling then.
Sure.
Yeah, it was enough force. Yeah.
Just enough force where he had to stabilize himself from actually tumbling. That's kind of odd. Yeah, that's crazy.
I know.
Now, I got a question.
Yes.
The title is My Grandma Taught Me How to Exercise Ghosts.
Right.
Now, do you think that ghost was in physical fit shape? Like, do you think it did its cardio?
Shut up.
Did it miss leg day?
Shut up.
I think he skipped leg day every once in a while, and that's why Grandpa didn't fall down the stairs. So
that's fair.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give this. Ooh. I don't know. I like the idea that Grandma was kind of a badass. So I think I'm going to give it 7 little scary Victorian children out of 10.
Wow. I'm going to give it 8 spooky Victorian children out of 10. I loved it. Almost sounds like Grandma's teaching a little spiritually spooky and on here, like some witch training, and she's going to be a witch one day. I'm excited for her.
I'm going to give this one a 9, actually, because something physical happened. I mean, the fact that it tried to hurt somebody, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and the fact that she had to perform pretty much an exorcism or, like, a cleansing to get rid of it, that's terrifying. I don't want anything to do with that.
Ooh. I like that.
Me
okay. Steph, you're next on the docket.
Yes. So the next listener who has submitted a story is from a viewer named Andy Moss. And Andy Moss has kind of called this story The Presence.
Ooh, I don't like that. Don't like that at all.
All right.
Oh, wait. Presents? Like the ghost is bringing Christmas presents?
No, not that type of presents.
Oh,
the other kind. The spooky kind. So Andy Moss has written, I was home alone a few times playing video games in the basement of my house, and often I would hear heavy footsteps from above, walking down the stairs and throughout the hallway, despite no one else being home with me.
That's creepy. I don't like that.
Like that. Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Nope.
After a few months of hearing that sporadically, there was one night where I woke up right in the middle of the night and I went to the bathroom right down the hall. When I exited the bathroom, there was a human figure.
What?
About
Yikes.
6 to 7 feet tall.
No.
Oh no. That's no good. That's
And
no good.
all I could see was a misty profile of their face and their shoulders.
That's terrifying. Oh my goodness.
I froze and I watched it walk down the stairs. I
Whoa.
made my way over and peeked down the stairs, but nothing was there. Everyone else was asleep, and no one in our family is of that height.
That's so weird.
Later,
why would you follow it? Sorry, why would you don't follow it? That's how you get killed.
I don't think they
movies.
followed it. I think they just kind of peeked to see where they went. They didn't go down the stairs after it. But later, I connected that this figure was probably the one whose heavy footsteps I had been hearing before.
Oh,
that's the end of the story.
Wow. I don't that's like stuff from your nightmares. Like, when you're like falling asleep watching cartoons late at night and you're like, I feel like I heard something, and you're like, I'm never gonna go leave from the spot ever again. That's what it kind of gives you. Like, oh no.
Well, I feel like I was going to say real quick, I feel like, if you wake up, you're still in a state of like half asleep, half awake. So I can understand where like people are like half dreaming things or half reality, yada, yada. But when you go to the bathroom, you're physically like kind of waking up. And after you use the bathroom, usually you're kind of up and more alert.
Right. You're not
the fact that it was like right after using the bathroom and then you see something, like that's kind of scary.
That's weird.
Yeah, absolutely. See, like when I think of shadow figures, like when I watch ghost shows or hear stories and somebody says like they wake up in the middle of the night and they felt like something was like holding them down in bed or standing on them, or they saw a shadow figure in the corner of the room, like 9 times out of 10 that's probably sleep paralysis.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
The fact that you were up walking and this person went to the bathroom, came out, was wide awake, and saw a 6 to 7 foot shadow figure, misty shadow figure in the hallway, like that person is conscious. They see this thing. Like that's no bueno.
Right. It's horrifying.
Yeah. So that was, thank you to Andy Moss for submitting that.
Yes.
Very good listener. Yes. Thank you. I'm going to give that 7 spooky Victorian children out of 10.
No, that's great. And just to add one more comment, I almost switched because we are in that spooky season. Sam and I are watching lots of ghost stories. I want ghost hunters to like do research to figure out, wow, maybe there was like a man that lived in that house and his wife died in childbirth and now he's continuing to walk the halls looking for his baby or something weird like that.
That's very specific.
Larissa's just giving backstory to this ghost. She's giving it lore.
I really want to know, like, why was he there? Like, it didn't sound like it was malicious or anything. He was just like, oh, hi.
Yeah, I don't understand why like they want you to see them sometimes like that.
That's
like
true.
That doesn't make any sense. Like it was almost like, hey, follow me, but then they followed the guy down the stairs and that person was gone. Like it's terrifying.
Right. Oh man, maybe
how many Victorian children.
Oh right, I was just gonna say because it was late at night. Maybe he was pacing in his spot where where his wife died in childbirth. That stress. He just kept pacing for the rest of his life.
Larissa knows something about this ghost. She's not telling us.
What can I say? No, but that's very strange. So I'm also going to give this story an 8 out of 10 Victorian children.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 8.5. I'm on the border of maybe 8 3/4 Victorian children.
Ooh.
Like the one kid like lost a limb in the war because it was or from like consumption or something.
Or tuberculosis.
That is consumption, Steph.
What?
Tuberculosis is consumption.
It's the old timey for it.
Yep. Oh, I've never heard that before.
I've never
That's really funny.
heard that in my life.
Yeah, back then they called it the consumption.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that. That's so crazy. Mm-hmm.
There's your spooky fact of the day for you, Steph.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
It's officially learning with Sam now.
Yes. Congratulations. How does it feel?
That feels like I've ascended.
Larissa's passed the torch.
I did. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to read our next spooky story. All right. This next spooky story is titled The Knock from Nowhere.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. No, I don't like the sound of that.
The knock from nowhere. Did you like that better?
Okay. Yeah. No,
okay, good.
But still.
This is submitted to us by Larry. Thank you, Larry, for listening and for
Thank
writing
you.
in. Hello, everyone from Shifting Tones. I'm very excited to tell you guys about my very own paranormal experience. Let me give you some context really quick. This story takes place in my childhood home when I was about 10 years old or so. The house I grew up in was built in the early 1900s and had all the charm that goes along with an old house like that, but also all of the spookiness as well.
I'm loving this context.
Yeah, that's good. We're getting a little bit of history. We're getting some story. Okay. The classic creepy cobweb-filled basement, as well as the dusty attic that was only ever entered to bring down the decorations for the holidays. That
dusty.
That sounds
Ooh,
fair.
wait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Steph,
so basically, yeah. Well, basement and attic. Okay.
Yes, a house has both of these.
Okay, shut up.
Good breakdown. Steph, why don't you get out a pencil and paper and start drawing this for us, okay?
That's fair.
All right, so I don't know why that made me laugh so much. I'm sorry. All right. So the story I have for you today is oh wait, I think I skipped something. Sorry.
You did. It's okay.
Yep. Okay. Sorry. So brought down the decorations for the holidays. As a kid, I experienced a lot of weird things in that house, which some could have been just my imagination, but others I can't explain. So the story I have for you today is just one of them. Ooh, multiple. That's scary.
I know. I want to hear more.
So you're going to listen to this one. So it was during the day in the summer, and my older brother and I were home alone while our parents were off at work. We're sitting in our living room watching TV, and all of a sudden we both hear a knock at our large wooden front door.
Okay.
So we assume, somebody is at the front door and walk over and open the door to see nobody there.
Spooky.
A little creepy, but it could, who knows? So we go back to the couch thinking it was just the wind or some kids playing a prank.
Naturally.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what I would think it would be.
Yeah, I would think it was like maybe like ding dong ditchers or like, maybe it was like, hey, the mailman's dropping off the mail. Here's a knock at the door for some reason. I don't know.
Right. Yes.
So a couple minutes later, we hear another knock on the wooden door.
Spooky.
We rush over to the door and open it really quick and go outside this time and see nobody around.
Wow.
Yikes.
Either we got some really fast children or something spooky's going on.
Super fast kids. Super fast kids are still scary. Like if they're that fast, like,
right? That's true.
You hear a knock, you get 2 seconds to the door, and they're gone. Like then you got superhumans on your
right.
Not good. So we finally realized something strange. When the door was closed, there was a locked glass screen door in front of the wooden door.
Okay.
Oh.
So
wait, so it wasn't just like a wooden door?
Well, so here's the thing. I'm thinking about that. So you have your glass screen door, your whatever, and then you have the wooden door. And if they're hearing a knock on a wooden door, that means somebody would have had to open up the glass and screen door. But this is sounding like that was locked the whole time.
Right.
And they weren't thinking about it in the time when opening the door.
Oh.
Right, and also if the storm door wasn't locked, you would have had to hear the squeaking from the door hinge first before you heard the knock.
Right, or it slammed shut or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had the door open, and we stood in the entryway and waited for the culprit to come back. Out of nowhere, we both hear a loud bang on the wooden door right next to us.
Like inside the house?
Inside where they're standing.
Oh, no! They let the spirit in.
Like with the door open. Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay.
And they run back in fear to the living room. We still have no idea to this day what caused it, but it sure creeped us out. Thank you so much for doing your podcast. I've listened to every episode and will continue in the future. Maybe I'll write in again about a haunted alarm clock. Bye.
Well, don't tease us like that, Larry. Oh, my goodness.
The haunted alarm clock.
Ooh, Larissa, I didn't like your comment. Your comment literally about them letting something in gave me goosebumps. That comment about that story, I was like, oh God.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's like a vampire. You're not supposed to invite a vampire into your house.
Right. But like spirits work a little different.
Mm-hmm.
They can
what if it was the spirit of a mailman?
I mean,
I guess it could be.
what's with you and mailmen, this story?
Right.
Well, mailmen die too.
All right. Mailman awareness.
Mean, ghosts, right? Yeah. So, it's just something to consider. So next time you're thinking about ghosts, maybe leave out a little ghostly treat for your ghostly mailman.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
All right. Letter carrier. I apologize.
Yes. Not all letter carriers are male. So.
Initially,
all ghosts are like only mailmen become ghosts, but letter carriers, like other letter carriers, go to the great beyond.
That's great. That's great for all other gender expressions.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, coming back to the story now. Initially, when I heard this, I didn't realize that there was like that screen door with it too. I thought it was just a door.
Sure, you don't think about it.
Right.
Yeah, Larry had us in the first half.
I was like, okay, a little knock. It could be anything, but the knock on the inner door, rather, like you have to open a screen door to get to the wooden door. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a little odd.
Right.
Yeah, and then to just hear the knock come right next to you.
Right, inside. And that was there 2 seconds after you checked, because then it would take longer than like 2 seconds, obviously, to close one door and then run away.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna give this an 8.5 spooky, scary Victorian children rating.
Ooh.
What's that? Wait, top or bottom half of the kid? Like, is it just the legs standing there, or like are they floating from the waist?
I don't know. I love the concept of just like little Victorian legs just running around a house.
Bony legs with the high wood like socks and everything.
Yeah. Oh, like the little like trousers, like
yeah.
Creepy. What about you, Larry? So what are you giving it?
I was gonna ask Steph what made her bump up her score as opposed to the other stories.
Literally just your comment, Larissa.
Oh, okay.
Like you saying the whole part where you just said they let something in just like freaked me out. So I'm like, oh, they did. So that literally just like made that connection to that story and made it scarier because that's all I could imagine at that point.
Right. I mean, it was just logical to me. Oh man. So I am gonna downgrade it a little bit. I mean, it was very spooky. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But I don't know. Maybe it really was just a prankster ghost. Maybe they're going to have some fun with him later on. I want to know what's going on with that haunted alarm clock. Maybe it was a poltergeist, So we're going to give it a 6 out of 10 creepy Victorian children.
Ooh, okay.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'll meet you guys in the middle. I'll say 7. It's not quite, to me, as scary as seeing a full body apparition.
Right, exactly.
Or physically being pushed down the stairs, but it's slightly scarier than like the baby story. So it's, I mean, I think the thing that's scary is hearing the knock while you're standing there,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
they came from inside the house.
The knock from nowhere. So those are all the stories that we had to read today that our listeners submitted. We had a few others, but I think at least I wanted to share 1 or 2 stories of my own, because I also listen to this podcast. I know that sounds like strange, but it also sounds egotistical, but it's not. It's not, because Steph, you told me that you had a story you wanted to share too.
Yes, just one real quick.
Okay,
because I don't want to go too much over our time.
No, you're good. We're still good. Yeah, so I'll let you share your story first.
Okay, so I was kind of a weird child, and
what?
Yeah, I know, right? Surprising. But I used to boast to friends that I could just walk in our woods, like an acre of woods in the dark without a light or a flashlight, anything like that.
Wow.
And I knew the trails like the back of my hand, and I would just do that. Well, one day I was taking my friend. I was like, look, let's walk in the woods. I must have been like 7th or 8th grade. So I was, old enough to know and remember this. But I said, let's walk in the woods. It's like 10 o'clock at night. She was sleeping over. Well, we're going through. We're on the final stretch. Nothing's really been happening. We're just walking through. The moonlight is like the only thing out. Well, and it's still dark. It's the middle of the woods. Well, basically, we're walking, and all of a sudden, to my left, in the thicket of the bushes and the trees, the thicket,
Gotta
I
worry about
hear
those.
heavy footsteps,
No!
crunching leaves and sticks. I just on instinct, didn't even say a word. I immediately grabbed my friend's arm and I start running.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, I took off because it scared me because it was like maybe like 2 feet from me to my left. So I took her arm and I start booking it. And as we're running, because I know these trails, right? She has no idea. She's never been there before. So God love her because I probably scared the hell out of her this time. But I'm running and she's like with me and I hear the footsteps behind us.
No. Oh no, I don't like that.
As we're running. And so we make it out of the woods and we're in a large open field because we had a field on my home's property at the time. So we're out in the middle, and I didn't just stop at the edge of the woods. Like I ran into the center of this field. And so we're catching our breath because we were sprinting. So we're catching in our breath and I'm just listening. Like I haven't even said a word to this. Well, the only thing I said to her was like, did you hear that? And she said, yes. And so then, so she heard it too. And so then as we're catching our breath, not even like 30 seconds after emerging, like maybe it was like 10 or 20 seconds after, making it to the middle, we heard the footsteps coming towards the exit, of that trail.
Oh no.
And so same thing, I grabbed her arm once again and I booked it to our house and we ran inside, locked all the doors, and I didn't dare look out the window after that.
Wow. Did you?
That was my story. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. I said we were running.
Regardless if it's paranormal or not, or if it was like a person or a creature, like an animal or something, it's terrifying all its own. It doesn't matter what it is. To hear something like chasing after you in the woods with heavy footsteps. Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know if it was a person. It could have been. I don't know if it was an animal. Could have been. I don't know if it was a ghost. Could have been. I don't know. Right. I was in fight or flight mode and I ran.
No, I would do the same. I mean, God forbid, like, if it was like something like California or anywhere that has like big cats, like a bobcat. Oh my God.
Or bears. Yeah.
No.
Right. So that was spooky. I remember that one clear as day. And I'm pretty sure I probably traumatized that girl as well.
Yeah, definitely.
My friend I don't remember her ever she never said she didn't want to spend the night, but I know definitely we never went in the woods at night ever again.
And that was the last time we ever hung out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Steph.
Yes.
What is my Victorian child rating?
I'm going to give it an 8 as well.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Oh.
Victorian children. And that's not because I don't like your story. I do. Wow. It's very scary. But I don't know if it's paranormal, if it was just something like coming after you. So like I'm thinking of ghostly children. Now if it's out of like how many Bigfoots, like cryptids, because it could be something like that. I'll give it 6.5 Bigfoot.
Okay. That's fair.
So I got 2 quick little spooky stories for you.
Sure.
So the first one is the less creepy one. So when I was a kid, I think it was my 13th, 12th birthday party, something like that. I had friends coming over for a birthday party, and I had just recently changed rooms from sharing it with my one brother to moving into my oldest brother's room because he had moved off to college. So I took over his room. Mm-hmm. His room was this tiny little room, and it had a closet door and the attic door in the room as well. I always pushed like a dresser in front of the attic door because it was creepy and I didn't like it. However, the closet I had was this wooden closet door, but for some reason on the front of the closet, there was this like metal grate, almost like a little window peering into the closet. Like, first of all, why would you need that on a closet? Yeah.
Ew.
There wasn't like ventilation in there or anything like that would need that to be open. It was just your basic closet, probably went about 6 feet back, maybe, like a little walk-in maybe. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, so I cleaned out the closet the week before because I had friends coming over, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'll have them put all their bags and stuff in the closet so we can save space. And the only thing I had in that closet was on the shelf. It was my brother's old Star Wars Pepsi can collection. So nothing else was in the closet. When my buddy comes over, and he's the first one to get there, and I have him throw his backpack in the closet. And
Mhm.
so I was like, yeah, I'll just see you downstairs. So he throws his backpack in, and he comes downstairs and he's like, hey man, what's with the creepy doll? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What creepy doll? He's like, the one in the back of your closet. He's like, I don't know. He's like, it's like life size, like a little child doll just sitting in the back of your closet, like in a white
Oh.
dress. And I like turned ghost white. I was like, I don't have a creepy doll in my closet. You're making this up. You're just messing with me. He's like, no. He's like, let's go look at it. So we go upstairs, open up the closet door, and sure enough, there's nothing in there, just his backpack. There's nothing. He's like, it was sitting right there. He's like, I'm not making this up. And I was like, I believe you. I'm just never sleeping in my room ever again. Thanks for that, buddy. So that's story number 1. How many Victorian creepy children do I get?
To me, I'm going to give it 4 spooky Victorian children, primarily because dolls don't freak me out, because I grew up where my mom had like hundreds of creepy old dolls. You guys have seen them, you know.
Right.
Because you visited my mom's house in the past. But yeah, I mean, I grew up with dolls. She has over 100 Raggedy Anns alone. So 4
Yikes.
spooky ones. So to me, I mean, it's kind of creepy where it was like, oh, yeah. I mean, but for when you said like doll, I'm kind of like, eh.
Well, that's the thing. Like he said, it was like life size, like a child doll, but there was nothing in there. It's not there. We didn't own dolls, you know?
Yeah.
Larissa, what about you? How many Victorian children?
I'm going to give it, since this does sound like a legit Victorian child.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to give it 5 Victorian children out of 10.
Oh, yikes. This was a week. Okay.
It's okay. It's a good story still. I like it. I mean,
no. It's obviously not that scary, not that creepy. It's
I
fine.
have heard it a few times, so they may have accounted into my rating
That's true.
here. Right.
Okay, so this next one you guys have probably both heard, but I'm going to tell it anyways. So when I was 14, we were on vacation. It was like, you know, when we were kids, we didn't go on a ton of vacations, but this was a vacation that my mom took us on, which was really nice because my mom, like, we would go camping maybe with her every once in a while, but we didn't take big vacations. So it was a very like important vacation for us. And we went up to Michigan to the Henry Ford Museum and to Greenfield Village, Greenwich Village. I don't know where Webster's house is up there. It's like a little touristy place. Anyways, so we stay in a hotel nearby, but it was just like a Best Western or like Hilton or something. It was like a very basic hotel. It wasn't like a Victorian house hotel or a bed and breakfast or anything like that. Just basic hotel. Anyways, let me set the scene for you. My mom's in the bathroom with the door closed. My oldest brother is across the room near the window, putting his going through his luggage that's on the bed. I am in like the front closet area, and then my other brother is on the bed closest to the bathroom, putting stuff away. In the room is one of those big fat CRT TVs, and on top of it was the TV remote. As I'm walking back to my brother, who's putting his stuff away, we both visually see the remote on top of the TV fly off the TV into the wall and smash.
Spooky.
Batteries come out. Yeah.
Huh?
Exactly. Exactly. We have no idea. So like my other brother turned around and was like, what'd you guys do? And then my mom comes out of the bathroom like, what was that? And we're like, what? The TV remote literally just flew off the TV into the wall. I mean, it scared the crap out of us. And you can ask my brothers to this day. At least Max, I know, remembers it. I don't know if my other brothers do, but you can at least, you know, have some verification. It happened. We saw it happen. We have no explanation for it. So it definitely scared us.
I would say, like, since you had like a shared experience, that's kind of wild, you know, but I'm going to give that 6.5 spooky Victorian children.
Thank you.
Out of 10. Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Larissa? Shared experience. That's odd.
Right. It was like almost like an intelligent ghost. And
see, you're learning. You know the terms from watching all the ghost shows with me.
Absolutely. I'm picking it up. And a physical manifestation like that, oh man, you don't get that too often. So. We'll give her 6 spooky Victorian children out of 10 as well.
Okay, that's better than the first story. So
Absolutely.
I'll take it.
Larissa, do you have any spooky stories of your own?
No, unfortunately, I don't. I mean, lots of things creep me out in the night where, Of course, I have an overactive mind, so when I'm walking around, I see something out of the corner of my eyes, but I know it's like my eyes playing tricks on me. It's not like
Nothing
anything was
paranormal.
actually there. Right. I mean, maybe a few creepy deer, running along.
Sounds like we have a skeptic on our hands.
Just a little bit. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's okay. We'll forgive you for not, contributing a spooky story. Maybe you'll have something happen to you in the future. Who knows? Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Right, yeah.
Way to curse her right before Halloween. Like,
ooh.
Hope nothing paranormal happens.
Okay, yeah, but that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you again so much for writing in your scary stories. Sorry if we did not get to yours. Hopefully we'll get to it in the future, like I said. We appreciate all the love and support we've gotten. We finally made it to episode 10. 10 episodes, that's crazy. Yes, woohoo indeed. So we just want to give another big thank you to everybody. If you want to continue to support us, please follow us on social media. You can follow me at Sir Captain Sam. You can follow Steph at Spiffy Steffi, and you can follow Larissa at Larissa.Schaefer. And follow us at Shifting Tones Pod wherever you listen or do social media stuff at. So this is the crew saying bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.